lovely students, and welcome back to English with Erika and Marco.
Have you ever heard someone say that a child's mind is like a sponge? It means they can learn new skills and pick up languages without even trying too hard.
And guess what? It's actually true. Now, I'll assume most of you aren't 5 years old anymore, which means learning new skills takes a bit more effort.
But don't worry, you can actually trick your brain into learning more easily. We're going to share some hacks that could make your English learning journey much smoother and hopefully a lot more enjoyable.
We've also created a special free gift for you today. It's a PDF cheat sheet with all of our recommendations. You can download it and use it to help you on your English learning journey.
We've been learning and teaching languages for years, longer than we'd like to admit, and all of our expertise is in this one document.
If you'd like to download our language learning cheat sheet, all you have to do is click the link in the description box or scan the QR code right there. Enter your name and email address, choose your English level, and the PDF will arrive directly in your inbox.
After that, you'll join our free PDF club. You'll automatically receive our free weekly PDFs, plus all our news, course updates, and offers. It's a free service, and you can unsubscribe at any time with just one click.
Okay, let's dive into some of these brain hacks. First one, cultivate a growth mindset.
I've never been good at learning English. I'll never understand this advanced grammar, so why bother trying? If you've ever had thoughts like these, you might have more of a fixed mindset.
That's the idea that only people with natural talents and skills can succeed at learning something well. Your ability is fixed. It can't develop. You're basically saying, I am who I am, and that's that.
On the other hand, people with growth mindsets believe that abilities can be developed through hard work, perseverance, good study habits, effective learning strategies, and so on.
So how does this help your language learning journey? You can try to hack your brain and reframe the negative, limiting beliefs that hold you back.
Here are a few examples. Maybe you tell yourself, my vocabulary isn't good enough. If you catch yourself stuck on that negative thought, flip it to something more positive, like, I'm learning about 10 new words a week and my vocabulary is growing steadily.
Let's reframe another one. I can't figure out when to use different verb tenses in English. I give up. We know it can be frustrating, but again, we can reframe this. Say something like, okay, this way of learning isn't working for me. What other strategies can I try to learn this more effectively?
Slowly but surely, you can trick your brain into adopting a more positive approach to learning English. Okay, let's move on to the next one. SMART goals.
So now that your head is in the right place, let's talk about setting the right kind of goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Let's break this down with specific examples. Number 1, specific. Instead of saying, I want to improve my English, try, I want to be able to start conversations and understand people I meet when traveling.
Number 2, measurable. Make it something you can track. I will learn 5 new phrases per week that I can use in common situations when I go traveling. Keep a record of your progress to boost your motivation and tick off the phrases when you've used them.
3, achievable. Be realistic. If you're a beginner, don't aim to listen to an entire podcast within a week. Break challenging goals down into manageable, bite-sized chunks.
4, relevant. Make sure your goal matters to you. If you love traveling, focus on that. If you're hoping to build your business internationally, focus on professional English.
In 5, time-bound. Set a deadline. I want to achieve this in 3 months, for example. Putting it all together, a SMART goal might look like this. For the next 3 months, I will learn 5 new phrases per week that I can use while traveling, with the aim of being able to chat comfortably with people I meet. Great goal.
The benefit of a SMART goal is that you can write it down and track it, and tracking is so important. We've included an exercise for building SMART goals in our cheat sheet, so make sure you download that.
There's something very satisfying about crossing off another day of studying, and that feeling is backed by science. When you accomplish a task, your brain releases dopamine, which makes you feel happy. Seeing that you're sticking to your plan and making progress will trick your brain into wanting more and more.
Now, you might be thinking, that's still a pretty big goal. And you're right. That's when we bring in our next trick, the 2-minute rule.
James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, a brilliant book by the way, suggests using the 2-minute rule. Instead of committing to learning 5 new phrases no matter how long it takes, commit to learning new vocabulary for just 2 minutes and see how you feel.
The logic here is similar to exercise. If you want to lift a 20-kilogram dumbbell, you probably need to start with 5-kilogram dumbbells and work your way up. Your brain responds the same way. You need to work up to bigger, more intense tasks.
Trying to achieve huge goals sets you up for failure. Break tasks down, start small, and build yourself up. Now, imagine you want to start listening to podcasts in English. Let's try the 2-minute rule.
Pick an English podcast or video you've been meaning to watch. Set a timer for 2 minutes and start listening. When the timer goes off, ask yourself, how much of that did I understand? How interesting is the content? Do I want to keep listening? Why or why not?
And the most important part of the practice is to celebrate your small successes. Say something like, wow, I just understood a full 2 minutes of this podcast. Affirmations like this boost the happy chemicals in your brain, motivating you to keep learning and practicing.
And the best thing is, you can do this with everything. I'll just read 1 page of this book. I'm going to answer 5 of these grammar questions. I'm going to spend 2 minutes reviewing the vocabulary I learned last week.
As you start to feel more comfortable, add more time. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and so on. But make sure you celebrate your wins every step of the way.
Okay, before we talk about our next hack, let's remind you of something from the last section. Our brains work in a similar way to our muscles. The more you exercise, the stronger you get.
Your brain isn't a muscle, but the more you do certain tasks, the more synapses or connections your brain creates. And one of the best ways to create these synapses and grow your brain is regular exercise.
Now, you probably didn't expect to hear this in a video about learning English, but trust us, it's a game changer. A part of the brain called the hippocampus is associated with learning and memory. Research shows that exercise can grow this part of your brain so that you can think more clearly and retain what you learn. It's amazing.
Exercise also increases your attention. In our world of TikToks and Reels, our ability to pay attention has gone way down. We've noticed it in ourselves. But to learn a new skill and to make English come naturally, you need to give it your full attention.
Even just 2 minutes of exercise can boost your attention significantly. And if that's not a study hack, we don't know what is. But if you want sustained attention and to get your brain in tip-top shape for learning, simple things like going for a walk, a bike ride, or dancing around your room like a fool can help improve your overall concentration.
So, put another way, anytime you take the dog for a walk or take the stairs instead of the elevator, you're increasing your capacity to learn. After exercise, take a few minutes to focus on English. You could write in your journal about your day, or practice speaking about what you saw during your walk.
And the best thing is, you can do this with everything. I'll just read 1 page of this book. I'm going to answer 5 of these grammar questions. I'm going to spend 2 minutes reviewing the vocabulary I learned last week.
As you start to feel more comfortable, add more time. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and so on. But make sure you celebrate your wins every step of the way.
Okay, before we talk about our next hack, let's remind you of something from the last section. Our brains work in a similar way to our muscles. The more you exercise, the stronger you get.
Your brain isn't a muscle, but the more you do certain tasks, the more synapses or connections your brain creates. And one of the best ways to create these synapses and grow your brain is regular exercise.
Now, you probably didn't expect to hear this in a video about learning English, but trust us, it's a game changer. A part of the brain called the hippocampus is associated with learning and memory. Research shows that exercise can grow this part of your brain so that you can think more clearly and retain what you learn. It's amazing.
Exercise also increases your attention. In our world of TikToks and Reels, our ability to pay attention has gone way down. We've noticed it in ourselves. But to learn a new skill and to make English come naturally, you need to give it your full attention.
Even just 2 minutes of exercise can boost your attention significantly. And if that's not a study hack, we don't know what is. But if you want sustained attention and to get your brain in tip-top shape for learning, simple things like going for a walk, a bike ride, or dancing around your room like a fool can help improve your overall concentration.
So, put another way, anytime you take the dog for a walk or take the stairs instead of the elevator, you're increasing your capacity to learn. After exercise, take a few minutes to focus on English. You could write in your journal about your day, or practice speaking about what you saw during your walk. Wait, Erika, before we truly say goodbye, I think we should share a few more brain hacks. Our students deserve every advantage we can give them.
Erika, you're absolutely right, Marco. I got so excited about the 2-minute rule and exercise that I almost forgot one of my favorites, the power of active recall.
Ooh, yes. Active recall is a game changer. Most people think learning is about rereading notes or watching videos over and over, but that's passive learning. Your brain gets comfortable. It thinks, I've seen this before, so I must know it.
But that's a trap. Active recall means you force your brain to retrieve information without looking at the answer. For example, instead of reading a list of vocabulary words 5 times, cover the definitions and try to say them from memory.
Exactly. Or use flashcards. But here's the key. You have to test yourself before you think you're ready. The struggle you feel when you try to remember something, that struggle actually strengthens the memory.
Science backs this up. Every time you successfully recall a word, a phrase, or a grammar rule, your brain strengthens the neural pathway to that information. It's like walking through a forest. The first time is hard, but after 100 trips, you've created a clear path.
So here's a practical way to use active recall for English. After you watch a video or read an article, close your eyes and ask yourself, what were the 3 most important points? Can I say them in English out loud? Don't just think the answer, say it. Speaking activates a different part of your brain.
That brings me to another powerful hack, the Feynman Technique. Have you heard of it, Marco?
Of course. Named after the physicist Richard Feynman. The idea is simple. If you can't explain something in simple English, you don't really understand it.
Yes. So let's say you're learning the present perfect tense. Instead of memorizing rules from a book, pretend you have to teach it to a 10-year-old. Use everyday words. Give simple examples like, I have eaten breakfast, or she has visited Paris. If you get stuck or use complicated grammar to explain it, that's a sign. You need to go back and learn it more deeply.
I love this technique because it also builds confidence. When you hear yourself explaining something clearly in English, you realize, wow, I actually know this.
Exactly. And you can do this with a study partner, or even just record yourself on your phone. Listen back. Do you sound clear? Could you explain it even more simply?
Okay, next hack, interleaving. This is a fancy word for mixing up your practice. Many students study one topic for an hour, for example, only past tense verbs. Then they move to vocabulary, then to pronunciation. But research shows that mixing topics in shorter bursts is more effective.
So instead of 60 minutes of past tense, try 15 minutes of past tense, then 15 minutes of learning 5 new travel phrases, then 15 minutes of listening to a short podcast clip, then 15 minutes of speaking practice about what you heard. Your brain has to work harder to switch between topics, and that deeper work creates stronger memories.
It feels harder in the moment, but that's a good sign. If learning feels too easy, you're probably not growing. Remember the gym analogy? If you always lift the same light weight, you never get stronger.
Another tip that changed my language learning journey? Eat the frog. Have you heard that expression, Marco?
I have. It comes from a quote often attributed to Mark Twain. If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning.
In other words, do your most difficult or least enjoyable task first.
Yes. For English learners, maybe your frog is grammar exercises, or maybe it's speaking practice because you feel shy, or maybe it's listening to fast native speakers. Whatever you avoid the most, do that first in your study session.
Why does this work? Because willpower is like a battery. It's strongest in the morning or at the start of your study time. If you save the hard stuff for the end, you'll be tired, distracted, and more likely to give up. Eat the frog, and the rest of your study session feels easy.
Let's give a concrete example. Imagine your frog is pronunciation practice. You hate repeating sounds. So tomorrow morning, set a timer for 5 minutes. Open a video of minimal pairs like ship versus sheep. Repeat after the speaker for just 5 minutes. Then you can do the fun stuff, like watching a Netflix episode in English. And guess what? After eating that frog, you'll feel proud of yourself.
That pride leads us back to dopamine, the happiness chemical. Every time you complete a difficult task, your brain rewards you. Over time, your brain starts to associate English with feeling good, not feeling stressed.
One more hack before we truly wrap up. Create a learning environment. And I don't mean buying a fancy desk or new notebooks, although that can be fun. I mean design your physical and digital space so that English is unavoidable.
Yes, change your phone's language to English. Follow English learning accounts on social media, but be careful because the algorithm will show you more. That's actually good. Set your GPS voice to English. Label items in your house with sticky notes, mirror, refrigerator, light switch.
I love that. And for digital environment, unsubscribe from emails in your native language if they're not essential. Sign up for English newsletters instead. Change your browser's default search engine to one that shows English results first. Listen to English music while you cook, not music in your first language.
The goal is to reduce the friction between you and English. If you have to open a separate app, find a video, turn on subtitles, and solve 3 problems before you can study, you won't do it. So remove those barriers.
For example, keep a small English book on your nightstand, not on a shelf, on the nightstand where you can reach it without getting up. Keep headphones in your bag at all times. Download podcasts in advance so you don't need Wi-Fi. These tiny changes add up.
I want to end with a mindset shift that helped me personally. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency, with mistakes allowed. When you speak English, you will make errors. Even native speakers make errors every single day.
That's so important, Marco. Many students freeze because they're afraid of sounding stupid. But here's the secret. Every mistake is data. When you say, I go to the store yesterday, and someone corrects you to I went, your brain creates a strong memory because of the emotional moment. Mistakes are not failures. They are the exact moments where learning happens.
So we'll say it one more time. Consistency beats intensity. Studying for 6 hours on a Sunday and then nothing all week is far less effective than studying 20 minutes every single day. Your brain needs regular, repeated exposure to build those pathways.
And remember to celebrate. Did you study for 2 minutes today? Celebrate. Did you remember one new word? Celebrate. Did you understand one sentence in a song? That's progress. Celebrating small wins is not silly. It's how you train your brain to enjoy the process.
All right, now we really mean it. Download the cheat sheet. It has all of these hacks written down, plus templates for SMART goals, a 2-minute rule tracker, and a weekly study planner. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code.
Thank you so much for learning with us today. You have everything you need inside your own brain. You just need to use these hacks to unlock it.
Keep going, keep growing, and we will see you in the next video.